I'm thrilled today. What we have Stephanie and Ann with us today to help us in the process, our next step, to take us to the next step. And we're getting ready to start getting resources, looking through books and going through nonfiction, different resources, maybe possibly magazines. And today we're going to learn what you do when you open up that book. How do you use what you're reading about, what you're looking at, and really take in new learning? And what does that look like? What does it look like to learn new information and to use that to build our schema? So I'm excited. Stephanie is going to do a lesson, and then you're going to watch Ann and I do some, have a conversation and do some work together, and then you will be able to go off and work in pairs today.
Today I brought this one. I thought you'd be interested, yeah. This is a book, yeah, this is a shark book, isn't it, right? This is called Sharks, Strange and Wonderful. And one of the things that I know, can you tell it's a nonfiction book? Yeah. Can you tell? How can you tell? What are some ways you can tell this is nonfiction? Yeah.
It has true facts in it.
It has true facts, and where do you see them?
Because there's like cutaway.
You got it. There's a cutaway here, and you know that's probably nonfiction, right? Yeah. Excellent. That's for sure.
It's like just a story about a shark. Then they wouldn't have cutaways or they wouldn't have facts.
That is so smart. If it was just a story about a shark, it wouldn't have cutaways, or it would just have it would have a story, right?
Yeah, you learn and you see what's inside of them.
You can see what's inside of them with a cutaway? Right. There's a ton of cutaways in this particular shark book. Now, those are some features, you know, cutaways, illustrations. There's another interesting feature of nonfiction. Yeah.
Real pictures of sharks or something.
Photographs. You guys know tons of them. There's one that I'm going to talk about, which is that when we read nonfiction, we're reading to learn something, right? You're going to learn something new. What are we going to learn about in this one?
Sharks.
Olivia, with sharks, you can tell. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Sharks is what we're going to learn about in this particular book. Well, this is the interesting thing. You have a lot of schema for sharks. Others of you may not know as much. I don't know too much about sharks. I'm going to learn, though, because that's what this book is. It's a teaching book about sharks. Sharks are relatives of other sea creatures called rays, skates, and sawfish. Here you go, you can see. Here's a ray. I've seen a ray. I didn't know sharks were related to rays. I had no idea about that. I've never seen a sawfish before, but I bet I know why it's called one. Why is it called a sawfish? Because it's got a saw for a nose, doesn't it? It sure does. Look what I did here. I put that I learned sharks are related to rays. And then I wondered something. I wonder if rays are dangerous. I've swum near rays, but now I'm kind of nervous because I didn't know how closely they were related to sharks. So maybe I should be more careful of rays. I'm not sure about that. But you see, sometimes when you learn something new, what happens? You have a question about it, exactly. So I did it. Now, what if I don't have a question? Should I put one there? No, only if I have a question.
Towards the end of the mini lesson, Steph encourages the kids to chime in with their own thoughts about nonfiction.
Nonfiction can teach you about what you don't know about, and you really want to know a lot about it.
If you know some things about sharks, like what you're reading, you can learn more about nonfiction books that you didn't know.
This can happen on all books. Like if you see something on the cover, you can infer what it's going to be about. When you want to learn about something, you try to go find the book, and if it doesn't teach you about it, you keep on trying to find another book that teaches you about it.
And then look what I found in Time for Kids last week. This says, Shark Alert. Why was this the summer of the shark? And what we're going to do is, in pairs, and this is what Ann and your teacher are going to model. We're going to read through it. We're going to read through and notice what? When we learn something new. And what are we going to put on the Post-it when we do? An L. We're going to put an L right on the Post-it of the time. And what I'm going to do is show you. Yes, you'll learn more. And what's going to happen now is everybody's going to get one of these great Time for Kids. and your teachers are going to show you how they would read through it. Is that okay? Would that work? Terrific.
Sharks were alive when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Why do you think sharks have been around for so long?
Why do they? Why have they been around that long? But I had to put an L.
During the guided practice portion of the reading workshop, kids eagerly read and talk together, noticing new information and wondering about it.
Okay, so what do I want again? Oh yeah, why have sharks been around so long?
Like tiny entities, the real special sense of being sharks help it track down.
Look at this whale shark is 46,300 pounds. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. I know it's like big, but I didn't know the exact.
And then another thing I didn't know is sharks have rough skin.
Yeah, they have bumps.
They have
I'm
bumps.
like, whoa.
Because this closes into their skin because it looks all smooth and shiny.
Yeah, I was gonna.
But it's actually rough and hard.
do that. I was actually gonna write that. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know that.
And
Just
still,
that's-
a really small shark can weigh 2,070
I
pounds.
You know, it actually, you have to like look in a microscope.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like a close up. You know, it's just like an elephant. You can't see its fur very well.
The three of us move around the room, conferring with pairs. Wow, look at all that writing.
That's great.
A shark's skin is made out of scales that look like tiny pointed teeth. Where did you find that information? Oh, look.
I'm thinking that, like, since, the shark's skin is like pointed teeth, it probably protects them a little bit. And I think it also said it helps track down small fish.
So you're starting to put some of your new learning, connecting it with other things and thinking about other facts that you know. That's wonderful.
That's using your schema already, isn't it?
And Caroline,
Exactly. No, go ahead.
can you share some of your thoughts with us? Your thinking?
My thinking is that, I can't believe that they've been around, these sharks have been around for about, for like 4,000 years because I thought they've been around for like 300 or something years.
What were you thinking about as you read that?
Last time I was scared.
You were scared? Why?
Afraid I might go to a beach this next summer.
And isn't that interesting? Because look at this first sentence. Do you remember this first sentence? Because I agree with you. I had the same feeling that it frightened me, but look at this. Does this make sense? Sharks don't really like to bite people.
Yeah, but
Then what are you thinking?
I know the way that they actually will bite you. Like, put your legs together up here, and
You
like,
listening to him?
if you see a seal, do not swim like it, or a shark will come in it.
Okay, so you think
Bite
that
you.
maybe, but you're, okay, so
Actually,
you're making an
that's it.
inference. Do you know what? Because aren't you sort of saying that maybe people look like an animal
Yeah.
to the shark? Do you think that maybe people look like an
Actually-
animal, or they mistake us?
No,
an
they
animal?
actually think we're an animal.
So boys, how's your learning going? Good. Can you share maybe some of your thoughts and your new learning with me? Okay, well what I'm curious is, what were you thinking when you read that?
Well, when we read that, we were like, wow, that's a lot.